What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting edition of Real Estate Podcast, episode 335. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trev.
And I'm scrubbing the deck of this damn dirt with Adam.
It's the last voyage of the Demeter, isn't it?
The Demeter.
Well, they get right into it.
Oh yeah, right.
At the beginning, it's like, oh, what
this
happened?
movie was cool as fuck, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I like how it opened up, kind of like Titanic. You know, they're out there.
Kind of like that. I mean,
you like Titanic.
Yeah, there was
with them on the fucking float on the raft.
There. Yeah.
I was like, that's big enough for two.
Yeah.
I actually said that when that happened.
But you know, he's out there playing cards. Oh, Demeter, you know. And so, I mean, I felt very like they channeled Cameron for a second, a couple of times.
Even before that, they roll up on the shipwreck, and like homeboy is straight shook.
Oh
they come up on him. He's like, fuck that boat. I got the captain's log. I ain't going back.
Speaking of that, like he opened it up. And it's pouring down rain, and he's trying to read it, and it's smudging and streaking. I'm like,
invisible ink.
Get that shit in a tent, man.
Yeah,
tent and candle, bro. Tent and candle.
You better put that in a Ziploc bag. You know, like,
no, but I like, dude. I mean, the message from the captain's log where he's like, "This is a warning." He's like, we tried to stop it, but you know.
Yeah,
we fucked up. This was the first bad lieutenant decision where the guy owned up to it. He was like, "Yeah, we fucked up. Like we shouldn't have."
Wait, let me ask y'all this. So you know how like the first dude, I can't remember his name, but he catches on fire.
Yeah,
he's like, "It hurts, it hurts."
Yeah.
All right, then the kid, and then they're like, "How are we gonna kill this thing?" I'm like, "I got an idea."
Yeah.
Why don't we bring that fucking box up here during the daytime? Because that's where it sleeps, and open it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
yeah. I beat it right there.
Yeah.
I don't think maybe they wasn't quite putting it together.
Yeah.
But she knew the sun was going to kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was crazy was how, they make a point to be like the one guy's like, "I'm a doctor," they build up the tension of like, "We don't need no doctors on the debate," know?
Yeah.
And then the minute someone shows up, I remember we're sitting there watching it. My wife goes, "Bet you he's gonna treat her like she's sick." And sure enough,
he hopped into doctor mode. He's like, "This is my patient."
Yeah. Blood transfusions.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah, dude. There's, I mean, dude, he's got chokers for everybody, man.
Well, and here's the thing, man. He was giving her a blood transfusion every day.
Yeah.
How the fuck was he still alive?
Like, right. And I mean, y'all see the type of food they were eating?
Yeah.
I mean,
like cabbage and potatoes the rest of Voyage, and that's what's crazy to me too. Is like they want to get paid that extra, so they're humping it to get to London, right?
Yeah.
Like I think at one point during a night sequence, they were before shit pops off. They were like, "Dude, we're ace. We're gonna get there, dude."
Yeah, and then like
when lock it in,
Whenever the boy dies and catches on fire, I'd have been like, "Fuck the extra money."
Yeah. Look at the captain's hands. Fuck that money.
Yeah, let's port wherever we can find a fucking dock at. Like, let's get the fuck off of this ship. Let's burn the ship to the ground. Something.
Dude, when they're like, we'll take the ship down with it. I'm like, it's got fucking wings, man.
Yeah, it just flew out there. And
I mean, I knew that obviously from the opening crawl that it was like, yeah, it's the chapter. I know we've covered the production of this a little bit,
Yeah.
So like clearly it was a movie where you're just watching just someone's fate, group of people's fate play out on the boat and everything.
Yeah.
And like I'm not even gonna pretend to act like I have any recollection of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
Because it was a hot minute since I ever fucked with that. I think that was like some crap I read in the library as a kid,
Yeah.
So don't really remember that shit. So whatever liberties they took, I could care less about. But you know, if you're looking at it through the lens of, okay, there could be a good outcome for this, then yeah, like why didn't they just take shifts on like the top of the, you know, on the deck of the boat, where like no matter what, sunlight or something, you know?
Yeah. 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 I mean, you know, and like I felt like the movie had it had good pacing. Um,
Yeah,
because like with them being on this boat and it's small cast, small crew, you know, pun intended. Um, they did a good job at like really bringing that horror slash terror element that vampires have been missing for a very long time. Like
yeah,
they really knuckled down with that, and that was what I appreciated most about the movie itself, because those sequences when it was foggy as hell outside and that thing's flying around and everybody's like all this shit's happening, like that was genuinely creepy and well done. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
uh,
well then there's the moment where it like it goes full John Carpenter's The Thing, where they're like,
yeah,
yeah, it wears the skin of a man. It could be any of us, you know.
yeah.
And I know they don't end up going down that route throughout the rest of the movie, where they're like, we can't trust each other. But for a brief moment, I was like, is it about to turn into like The Thing on a boat?
Yeah, right.
Well, when she shows up, they're like, she's bad luck.
And it's and here's my thing, like she like he was feeding on her the whole time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like she fell out of the box and it was like I'm still hungry, like I got to find something to eat, you
Yeah.
know?
Well,
And
she
it's
was a familiar, right,
yeah, but like
to Dracula.
she wasn't like fully like he was basically snacking on
Yeah,
her
she
from
wasn't
time
running
to
errands for him.
Yeah.
time.
Well, at first, whenever
Get
they
her.
revealed when they revealed the woman, I was like, oh, so it's gonna be one of Dracula's brides
Yeah, that's what I thought
fucking with
too.
the crew, and then at the end we're gonna get a big reveal where it's like, now you're gonna see what's some real shit, you know? And it's like,
Yeah,
let's crack this big one open, you know?
yeah.
I was surprised they killed the kid.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that was well, in the
Especially the
era
way they
of
did. I was like,
yeah,
oh,
in
he's
the
and he's holding the cross. It's like, yeah, that didn't work.
no.
I mean, I know that at this point in Hollywood that it shouldn't be surprising when a child when they kill a kid on screen now. They've been doing it for a while, but it's become more prevalent, and it's still just, you know, those types of moments were few and far between. It felt like for a very long time, just because whenever you go that far in a movie, it's like, all right, this movie is going to go off the rails, and it's got to be for a reason, you know.
Yeah,
And I think they used it effectively in the movie. It was to really like hammer it in. It's like, yeah, the kid died. Yeah, everyone's fucking gonna die. Like,
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought that the dude um, from Straight Outta Compton did a great job as
Oh
the
yeah,
doctor.
Polka Dot
Like
Man
he,
was good.
dude.
yeah,
Let
At
me.
first, I was like, wait a minute, is that he
Yeah.
looks different?
Here's all I'm gonna say, dude. This guy, if the right person comes along and casts him in something, like it amazes me that he hasn't blown up bigger than he already has, right?
Yeah, because he's like in everything.
He's in everything. He's good in everything he is. But I think it's like he's just so odd.
Yeah,
Like not like as an individual. Because he was at that Kevin
he
Smith thing.
was.
And he was just a dude. Like he was just there hanging out, having a good time, you know? But like he always plays odd characters. And I think
well,
that like
this.
that
Well,
kind of
I was just gonna add to what you're saying too. That like, it's also like a slow build up to him becoming. Well, it's like this is one of the few films I've seen him in where you know, he's
He's like a lead.
he's 2 clicks from being a leading man in the movie.
Yeah, I would say that like him and the other dude were like co-leads almost. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Clemens. Was it
Yeah.
Clemens?
it was Hawkins.
That's his name, but in the movie.
Oh yeah, Clemens. Yeah,
And then it wasn't Rorschach. What was his name?
it's Wojcik. Wojchek. Wojcik.
But yeah, because I mean, the captain, him as the first mate, if you want to call it that, and then the doctor. Yeah, those would technically be our.
Yeah.
Those would be our leads, you know.
Yeah.
When it started, I was like, man, I like a good fucking just ship movie.
Yeah, right.
You know, that's why I'm excited for the Leo one. Like,
yeah,
well, even like
we don't
those,
get enough of those.
Well, just those little moments where he's like, August 31st, 1801.
Yeah.
The crew's morale is low. I love shit like that where you can hear the captain's thoughts, or not just the captain, but just any member of a crew where, you know, you see at the beginning where there's that optimism, and then like by the end it's like, yeah, fuck this. Like,
I thought that captain was gonna blow his brains out.
I did too.
I really thought he was gonna kill himself.
That's so funny because whenever it never went down, I kind of leaned over to my wife and was like, I totally thought we was about to get the world's fucked. Watch this, like blow their brains out moment, you know.
Yeah,
I lost my boy.
But yeah, I really did enjoy it though, man. Like it's, it felt like a throwback to some of those Universal horror flicks. Like it,
Did you notice it was definitely almost set up for like another movie?
Oh yeah,
and the way he was dressed, and it would kind of line up maybe right with the year, like he kind of had a Jack the Ripper vibe.
Yeah, exactly right.
When you see him at the end, I'm like, is he Jack the Ripper?
Yeah, Jack the Ripper, isn't he? Is out here ripping jacks?
I mean, it had an ending. You could have put the little guitar hook to Eminem's 8 Mile song.
Oh, when he's walking,
panning up to him.
Look, comes in.
If you were a Victorian era vampire, no, but no. Whenever it would show Dracula's face, it was creepy as shit. Like straight up Nosferatu
for real leather face.
Man.
Yeah.
And the movie's set design that ship was badass.
Looked good.
Yeah, it was.
And they did a good job. They pulled a Tarantino, because even though it was a cargo ship, so it was a fairly large ship already, but they did a good job of removing that weird claustrophobia that those type of scenes would have. And yeah, I just, because like there would just be the wide shots where they're down in like the storage area,
mm-hmm.
and then oh man, the one of the scenes that creeped me out was because it's never like the big like gore fest stuff or any of that. It's like some of the interactions between like the human characters, like the little odd shit that gets said, you know.
Yeah.
Well, when they're down there and they're close to the gully and they're talking to the cook's like, dude, the rats are gone. Like,
yeah,
like they're not on the boat. Like this shit is so, basically like this shit is so fucking evil. Even the rats are like, yeah, well, because we'll head out.
Yeah.
Into the, like they either remained hidden or they fucking died.
Well, he ate them, I think. Or they ran.
Yeah.
When he was like, there's no rats, he's like, hey, something's fishy.
It made that whole shit with the whole tapping on the boat.
Yeah.
It added an eerie, like an even larger eeriness to it.
Yeah. I do like whenever they portray, Dracula almost as like a force of nature,
Yeah, he wasn't here to fuck in this movie. He was here to feed. Like,
yeah. And that's, after what, years and years of like, let's sexy the vampires up, it's nice to see something like this come out where it's just like, there ain't nothing sexy about this dude.
when he leaps and
Yeah.
just slashes that motherfucker's throat, man.
Yeah.
Get him with
It
them
was
kangaroo claws.
Yeah.
Well, like what was crazy is they also, we were, you guys were talking about how it linked to other movies earlier and stuff. It was straight up like Dracula was Jaws in this movie.
Yeah.
And Jaws won.
Yep.
The actor that played Dracula, it says Dracula Nosferatu.
I mean,
so he was kind of.
Yeah.
Well, like the only time we hear him talk in the movie was where the doctor was like, "I renounce you," blah 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 blah. He's got him up by the throat, and you just hear him go, "You will." And you're like, "Oh my god, man!"
Yeah.
Like, I want a movie where he's in the castle, and sure, like you can open that door, and it's like in What We Do in the Shadows, where those women are just floating in the air, and then you close it, and you're like, He's like, "Give me 10 minutes," like. Not necessarily that, like, sure, throw that in there for whatever lore continuity, but just like a castle movie where Dracula's in there, it's ominous as fuck, people like body counts there. It's a bad idea stepping into it,
Yeah.
Whenever whenever the whenever the woman was speaking about being with him and stuff, it's just like, it's this castle. And the entire time I just start hearing the Castlevania NES theme in my head. The do 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 do
do. Yeah, I did enjoy it though. Like, I wouldn't change anything really. I mean,
yeah, it's one. It's one of those movies. Clearly, it's one of those doomed movies, but it's like, we know the destination, we're just seeing the journey.
Yeah.
And I thought they did, it was a cool little creature feature, man. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
It seemed self-aware enough to not, like, there was no that there were it, like, right where it would lean into the trope, it's like, just a reference, and they wouldn't do it,
It'd pull back out a little bit, yeah.
And that was refreshing for just a straight horror film.
Yeah. So the guy who directed this, Andre Yolverdal, I guess is how you pronounce his last name. He did before this Mortal, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, and Troll Hunter. And the
so
autopsy
he was right at home pretty much.
Yeah.
Like,
I haven't seen The Autopsy of Jane Doe. It's definitely something that I've been wanting to watch. It's on my list, I've heard that there's some like super creepy, interesting things that happen in that. But yeah, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and then Mortal.
Yeah, short list.
Yeah, and dude's 50, but he's doing his thing though, man. Like, having a good time with it. So good for him. He had a great cast.
Yeah.
He took a great story. I mean, like, Onion Knight, first of all, if that's not a ship captain,
right?
Like a reincarnated ship captain, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus.
if I ever need someone to give me dramatic reinforcement on something, it's him. He's like, he's a good man. That cake, it may take a while to bake, but once it comes out of that oven, you're going to eat it. You're gonna want a second glass of milk with that one.
He was one of my favorite characters on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Well, he played just salt of the earth type character. He didn't really stray far from that, you
No.
know.
He was
And
the
that's
everyman.
yeah, that's what made you root for him in the book and in the television show. Like, just all around, you're like, dude, this guy deserves a dub, you know,
Yeah.
because he rarely gets one, and he don't get one in this one. But
Did not feel like 2 hours.
No.
yeah, that's what surprised me too.
Didn't.
Because when I saw the runtime, I was like, okay, we're working with a film with some set parameters here. How are we gonna draw this out for nearly 2 hours? And they do it really well. Like,
Yeah. The pacing was great. I mean, shit goes once stuff starts going down, it continues to go down. But like, they don't do that stupid tropey thing where like they hit you hard and then they ease up for 30 minutes, then they hit you hard and ease up. It's
Yeah.
like, no, here's bad things that happen, and here's worse things that happen, and then here's worse things that, like, like they
well,
did it
yeah,
right.
it's like the
Oh,
end of
dude.
act. It's like the end of Act 2 and the beginning of Act 3. Straight up, just
Yeah.
just didn't exist.
Well, when the
You
shit hits
didn't
the
feel it.
fan, they're like, we're killing the dog first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And it's like, no.
And all the other animals.
Yeah.
yeah.
fuck
My dog gives the movie no star
Yeah.
because
The dog died
when
first.
he was like, man,
Why they do
of
Cujo
course,
like that?
just like a foreleg, you know. But yeah, like once the body count started, it was very much just. Oh yeah, and another scene earlier in the film that I liked too was like the introduction of the cargo. Like those people roll up and they're like,
Yeah.
"Hey man, we got to get back. Like the sun's getting low. Like
They're like, you need to leave before the sun goes down.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what they say.
and-
I'll pay you extra. They paid them more than they paid to ship the cargo.
yeah,
I would have been
And
like,
then-
red flag.
yeah." And when they translated their parting word, it was like, "Good luck." It's like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
man,
what a
fuck that.
dickhead. He's like, it's London's problem now. I'm guessing he was hoping it would just go out on that ship and go down with it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
dude. No,
so if they
yeah,
put
'cause-
Dracula in that thing, if he was in that, they knew it. They had to put the girl in there.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep.
she's a blood bag.
Assholes.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, she even said is like, the town basically sacrificed her to him.
There was
Like,
nowhere to feed on.
Well,
no.
what's strange is like whoever he feeds on, like he gets it's tethered to him.
Yeah, he
'cause she
possesses
does,
them.
she does that whole shit where it's like, I'm just as much a part of him as he is of me.
Yeah.
You hear the voices. When dude started smashing his head into that door,
Oh my
That
god.
was
like, whoa, metal.
Oh man. Speaking of metal, how badass! Like it's going back to earlier in the film though. How badass was that shipwreck look? Like if you got rid of all the
Yeah.
extras and just had the shot of the boat washed up on the rocks, I'm like, that's an album cover.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's like the dankiest stoner metal ever too. Like motherfucker comes in sounding like Ozzy, but like fucking 4 bowls deep. Like
Yeah.
washed up on the shore.
Big muff.
Oh, dude, there's
All
so
big
much fuzz in that mix, dude. I don't know how you like the producer's like, God damn it.
What are we gonna do?
I gotta slap 2 EQs on this bitch, man.
I'm giving it a full star.
Full star, dude. I think this movie's kind of went under the radar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I mean, I don't know why they didn't release this
shame.
during Halloween.
I know, right?
Oh yeah, it'd have been totally on par with it. I mean, at its heart, full star for me. But at its heart, it's a full on Dracula film, man.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a breath of
it's-
fresh air.
Yeah, and what's really cool is that it's a really cool. I would say it's a cool companion movie to like almost to the classic Gary Oldman Dracula movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I wonder if someone out there was like wondering, like already have it working in their brain. They're like, I want to make a supercut.
Yeah, right.
Like you play Last Voyage of the Demeter, and then, or like find somewhere in the movie where it's like you can splice it where it's like he came in on, like Keanu Reeves is reading something where he's like, he came in on a boat, man. And then it just cuts to that shit happening. It's like, the Demeter is a beautiful morning. What's with these boxes of dirt?
What's crazy, they took a single chapter out of that novel and turned it was the captain's log.
Yeah, right.
And made it into a movie.
Well, I would like to see this guy handle just telling the rest of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
They might end up doing more if it, because it really sets it up. Yeah. I mean, the way that movie ends, it's like, oh, there's gonna be another one.
Right.
I mean, he's even got the top hat. I was waiting for the solid round monocle.
I like how he doesn't
he would fit in but still stick out. What's that?
He doesn't read Jen. He's like just looks like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
They based his look on Nosferatu. Like he never. Yeah. Because I expected. I was like, oh, he's gonna start looking better. It's like, no.
Well, he does, but it doesn't. Like not in the better for us. Like he starts looking like a.
It ain't Gary Oldman.
Yeah, exactly. But there, I did notice there was like, at first he was all like Voldemort under the damn deck, like crawling, like, But then, like, once he gets wings to the kid, he gets his wings. Yeah. So there was some metamorphosis moments. Yeah, but you're right. He never fully turns into a human. And I thought, like you said, it's cool that they stuck with. Yeah, even when he's kind of back, you ain't gonna want to look him in the eyes. You're just gonna want to hand him his shit and go.
Yeah. Great movie, though.
I mean, it gets the coveted real estate Demeter.
And it's the will, because it said Demeter on it.
Yeah.
I thought the front of the ship where the statue's holding the lantern, I thought that looked really cool.
Yeah, right.
I mean, all around, it's a fun movie when for like this type of season with October, everything. Like, it's definitely it's a good addition to the mix,
Yeah, I may try to watch it with my grandma. I think she'd enjoy it.
That was something too. This movie has accessibility.
Yeah.
Like there's enough going on that you don't feel like you're sitting through a sci-fi slog.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not so complex that like an older generation viewing is going to be lost.
No. Not at all. But yeah. 5 stars. Talking about 5 stars. How fucking good was this first episode of Loki? Like, I watched both of them, right?
Yeah,
but I did. First episode was fucking. The first episode of Loki is one of the best things that Marvel has produced since fucking Endgame.
Years.
Yes. Like, legit. And that's 45 minutes of television. Like, and I would put.
Like, 45 minutes have probably not. Like, it was a more entertaining watch in 45 minutes than probably the last 6 to 7 hours, maybe 10 hours, I guess, of content that Marvel's been giving us.
Yeah. I mean, I would put this is kind of how I'm ranking everything now. It's like that first episode of Loki, of course, is right up there with Moon Knight, like collectively as Moon Knight. And those, like, to me, Moon Knight was the best Marvel series other than Loki, So, I mean, it's just tracking, and like, it's Werewolf by Night good.
Well, Adam, have you watched both?
Yeah, we were supposed to watch them both.
Okay, I just didn't. I just know Griffin had brought it up, and I just didn't know if you. Because I didn't want to go into anything that you hadn't seen yet, man.
Oh, by that second episode, I'm like, Tom Hiddleston's
Yeah.
fucking Doctor Who.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
dude.
Right?
Yes.
Look at him standing
The
there
show-
with his jacket. I'm like, you could be Doctor Who, dude.
Yeah, man. And I love the humor doesn't feel forced.
No.
And I think that's one of the, like, dude that plays Ouroboros.
Short round.
I love the scenes
OB?
where Loki and Mobius
They
are
did the
rolling up
OB.
to him, and he's like, "Dude, we're gonna die. We're gonna die in a few minutes. It's cool."
Yeah.
Like,
dude.
and I mean, yeah, and in terms of just
400
what
years.
Yeah.
and just in terms of what we're doing, like,
Mind blown.
I love the idea, like, whenever he's time slipping, because I know there's a lot going on in those 2 episodes, but like when he's time slipping, and they go talk to him, and then he's in the past, and he's like, "Hey, build this machine." Like, I just
like,
love little quirky stuff
when he
like
said,
that with time travel.
I'm starting to
man.
remember, and he's like, "Yeah, I think that's how time travel works, right?"
Yeah.
Like if he went back and said something, it was like, "Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's how it would work."
Yeah. One of my favorite parts was he kept going on. He's like, "Your skin will peel off and you'll die." And fucking Owen Wilson's like, "You keep saying that. Why do you keep saying that? You keep saying that."
It's like, "All right, just hoof it back." He's
They're-
like, "You
they're
ready to see
back
some
and
hoofing?"
forth.
How good? Can we take a second to appreciate how good Owen Wilson has been?
So good.
Yes. Oh my god.
Made
He
for
was
that
born
character.
for that
Yep.
role. Yeah.
Well,
Like,
he's almost like he's the new Coulson, but better.
Yeah.
yeah, better, faster, stronger. Like
I
in
mean,
every capacity.
wow. You know,
What's gonna suck is like he'll go the same route Coulson did at some point. You know,
That's gonna hurt.
he'll
That's
die to
gonna-
motivate. He'll die to motivate Loki
Yeah.
to make the harder decision.
yeah, like yeah, and that's what's gonna suck. But like, dude, just
Well,
him and Tom
that-
Hiddleston's back and forth, him and OB's back and forth. Like he's just like the guy that's just there.
Well,
He's
dude,
the everyman.
Honestly, the best scene that he's been in, just him, where he gets to do his thing. It's the scene where they're sitting there, like, I can't remember if it's the pie scene or if
Yeah,
it's
you like
another.
key lime pie?
But when they're talking to him, where they're like, "Dude, you have a whole life. You're very," and he's like, "No,
Pie
you don't
scene.
get it. I've chose this. I've chose
Yeah.
this life, man."
It's like,
Yeah.
your life
Like,
doesn't
yeah.
matter.
And then he puts out the debate of like, what he's like, "I don't want to know about my life. What if it is good? What if it is better than this? Why
Yeah.
would I want to put myself through the mental anguish of like?" I was
Makes
like,
sense.
damn, Marvel coming in deep.
Yeah. But dude, they have this fucking mechanism that like
That
collects
shit.
the timelines and is weaving them. Like
Wasn't
weaving the
expecting to see that this soon, you know?
What
Like
the
that
fuck?
looked like
Yeah.
a finale scene, you know?
yeah, first episode.
I
like,
mean, by the
bam.
second, we've destroyed most of the timelines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
which
they're
is like,
pretty
what
much
the
all
fuck?
gone, right? I mean,
Yeah, except for a handful.
it was
of
like,
them, yeah.
damn, cut it down
Yeah.
quick.
Jesus
Talk about wrapping
Christ.
up the multiverse pretty quick.
That was fast. Like,
Yeah,
it's like, oh, we're
Well,
already
I
doing
feel
that.
like I don't now. Once it, you know, I know we've got two roads we're traveling down simultaneously. We've got the road to Kang and then the road to Secret Wars.
hmm
And I felt like this show I feel like Secret Wars is going to pull from this a lot more than we think it is.
yeah, right.
Just because I feel like we're going to get, I personally think they're doing a version of the story where the timelines are going to converge
hmm
and it's going to culminate in Secret Wars. And
Well-
we're going to get, because it would be really cool if we get, like, say we get a recreation of the scene when the remaining Marvel heroes are watching the Ultimate Universe die.
Yeah,
And they're all inside this machine that Reed Richards has built. And they basically just see the universes collide and everything, and then there's just nothing, and then they show up in Battle World where it's like the patchwork universe, like a little bit of everything's kind of everywhere.
yeah.
And I think that version of Secret Wars is what we're going to get. I know that if Kevin Feige had his way, we'd get probably a 1-to-1 adaptation of like the original fucking Secret Wars, which might still obviously get its nods and tips too, but I feel like that other one is what's being set up more.
Right. Well, and it's that thing like they killed Kang. That's what started all of the tangent, universes kind of splitting off. Like even if he's still not there. So like they're gonna continue to branch out until
well, he has to be, or a version of him is there. And I know that it was He Who Remains that was talking to Renslayer on the recording.
Yeah.
But by the fact that when Loki came back and all the statues have been changed from being the timekeepers to just straight up Kang.
Yeah.
It makes me think that there's already another one done came in, because like at the end of season 1, remember in that speech he gives, he's like, man, you can kill me now, that's fine, I'll still end up right back here.
But right before she stabs him, he's like, see you soon.
Yeah. So, and here's what I think that they were doing, at least from my perspective. It feels to me like they're condensing the idea of the multiverse down to a handful of multiverses as opposed to an infinite amount of multiverses.
Well, making it workable for a film.
Yeah, we only got 6 episodes,
Well, I'm just thinking about the whole scope of Marvel overall, because like if they're going to try to do Secret Wars in that way, if they're going to try to do, whatever it may be, King Dynasty.
Yeah, they have to pull a move that like they did in the Endgame. Thanos used the stones, then he destroyed them.
Yeah.
And then once, they've had to make it to where, all right, we use time travel, but now we broke the machine. Like now we can't do it.
Yeah.
Even though Hulk retains all of his knowledge, but that doesn't matter. But
yeah.
But I mean, but that being said, they're gonna have to make it to where this shit can't happen again in the Marvel continuity.
Yeah, exactly.
Or at least the movie continuity. It's like, shit got weird, but like it can't go back to that. Like they fixed it, this, that, and the other. Like any of these tropes, cop outs that some people call them, I don't think they are, but I mean, it is what it is. And if you're going to use them, then you have to be a clever enough writer to be able to tie that loose end up, because it can't be something that they can just fall back on again. Like,
yeah. No, I agree. And that's still leading into Deadpool, which is Mobius is going to have a big part in Deadpool. And Tom Hiddleston is yet to be confirmed if he's going to, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah.
Well, I wonder if, I've been seeing on various stream services, I've been seeing the ad for the Marvels.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of the sequences, it's just a very quick montage, but it looks like the ship that they're on like I guess either Photon ship, or Captain Marvel's got her own thing that she like, because she just decides not to fly in space. I don't know. But anyway, it looks like the Bifrost is coming in.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's misdirection. People are like, oh, Thor's going to show up. It's like, no, what if it's Loki?
Yeah, right.
What if Loki comes out and the first person he's like, I got to go to Captain Marvel? Like, because if she is the ultimate being in the pantheon, then it would make sense that if Loki, when he gets out of this situation and he's got to alert everybody, why not go to the top?
Yeah, right. And it's very clever how they kind of tied up the Lokis in that first episode. They're like, he has to be zapped, and then they have to pull him out of the time stream. It like pulls all the different. It's the way that they explained it's like it pulls all the different versions of him out, right?
Well, it's like turning it on and off again.
Yeah. So it's wild that like That
Well,
was insane.
well, what was also cool is because I mentioned that I'd really like that Mobius bit of dialogue in that second episode. I love because I've seen it happen in different characters and different comics and different situations and whatnot. It's used a whole lot, but like the whole thing where dude just keeps digging into Loki because it harkens back to Mobius. It parallels Mobius's scene in season 1 when he first shows up to the TVA and he's like, Loki, you're a loser. Here's why. I prepared a PowerPoint,
Yeah.
and it's and in this one, the same type of ridicule gets laid down where it's like, this, that, and the other. You're a villain. You're always going to be a bad guy. You're, all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, you're right. I am a villain. That
Yeah.
also means I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
This does lead into Secret Wars, dude. The Michael Waldron, the creator of Loki, the show, he's writing Secret Wars.
Okay.
Good.
So
I feel now that you mentioned that, I feel like we did. We I think we might have bridged that gap.
he's the guy. He worked on Rick and Morty. He wrote Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Well, man, this show is still 100% Doctor Who.
Love
meets
it.
Rick
Oh,
and Morty.
dude.
Yeah.
He would be
And like Rick and Morty without the edginess, mind you. But like it's almost like this guy came up with the circumstance for Rick, like the circumstances and scenarios in Rick and Morty, and then Justin Roiland.
Yeah,
and
he's only done like 10 episodes, so
like let's rub our dick across.
They took it there.
Yeah.
What that smell like?
Yeah. But yeah, dude, after that first episode went off, I immediately started the second episode and like, look, Ahsoka was good, Andor was good, Secret Invasion was what it was. I haven't been this excited to watch a show in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, the type of quality that this show has maintained since its first season. If everything else that has came out between these seasons had been of that quality, then I don't think there would have been like none of the Disney issues that we've been reading about for the past year. Like none of that would even be a problem.
Yeah.
Because a show like this, if there were this as several others, like that type of quality makes subscribing to Disney Plus totally worth like your money.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Dude. You know how we're all thinking. It's like, well, of course, Mobius, he'll be the one that dies.
Mm-hmm.
If they really want to hurt you,
Loki again.
Yeah, they'll kill Tom Hiddleston for real because he's not confirmed. In Secret Wars, Mobius is in it, but he's not confirmed. I'm just saying that would hurt.
Well, if they're fixing the timeline, then that means he's got to go back to 2012.
Yeah.
He's got to line back up so that he dies by Thanos, which is even more tragic because now he knows how he's going to die.
Which is crazy because if you think about it, he had a huge shift in personality.
Yeah.
From the invasion in New York to his death in Infinity War. And I mean, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like he's gone through all this shit that he just never mentioned. It's like, damn.
Well, it almost shows you why between New York and Endgame, why he never came back for round 2 as a villain.
Yeah, right.
I mean, yeah, you can write it off as like, yeah, that Hulk stomping shit fucking straighten his ass out. But at the same time, he's really the original villain that didn't die, that could come back to do other shit,
Yeah. And had a full character arc, and now it's having a full another character arc.
Yeah,
like it's crazy.
Like now he's got 2 different arcs at the same time. Like
he had like some daddy and mommy issues. He's just kind of misunderstood. I don't know about a villain. I mean,
yeah,
he did some bad shit, but he's come around.
I mean, who hasn't? Let's be
Yeah.
fair.
We'll think about it. Like
He was just begging for
we
attention back then.
well, we saw Thor's reaction to their mother dying, and then we also saw the scene when him and Loki both, parted ways with Odin.
Yeah.
And you could tell that, even with Odin, you could tell that Loki's character took those deaths more humanely than Thor did.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Thor was like, I'm gonna see him again.
Yeah. Whereas, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had a level of faith.
Yeah.
Whereas with Loki, it was very much like it was more. Well, it's the selfish part of people that want their loved ones to stick around forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good Well, I mean, when you start peeling back the layers of this onion, no, like, but yeah, that's just little nuanced stuff like that that makes this comic book shit worth watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or at least as an adult watching it. I know at the end of the day, a kid just gives a shit about pow, boom, bang,
Yeah.
But
But
at least the writing is of a competent level for this.
Yeah.
I just really don't. I really don't want it to shit the bed like Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Or Secret Invasion.
I don't think that it will, but I like how by episode 2 we've got the band back together. We've pruned the timelines. Now we just got to deal with the bullshit that's happening. We got a little foresight into the future, with Loki's time slipping thing. So it's like they've, I don't know, man. Like for 2 45-minute episodes, they've accomplished more in those 2 episodes than they did through the entire Secret Invasion and like half the other shows and movies that's came out. It's crazy.
Well,
but yeah.
Well, and I just I can't get over how good the show is on a comedic level because it's not really quippy. That Marvel has that tired criticism that you hear from Marvel stuff. That there's always quips. There's always quips. What makes these characters funny and what makes them funny in their comic book forms is the demeanor at which they're depicted.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they could be saying something that's totally true, but it could be the goofiest looking character you've ever seen saying it. So you're like, what the, what's this dude that's like, a foot tall saying like the world's going to blow up,
Yeah.
But like, for instance, like my thing too is, saying all that though, so OB, so there's people in the TVA that have never seen him or they think he's a myth.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Well, like when the dude that's like, he's trying to be Mr. IT with everyone. Yeah, when he writes the book, that dude feels like God just handed him the commandments. He was like, "You wrote the manual," and that dude's like, "You read it."
He's like, "Read it." He's like, "I memorized."
He's like, "I didn't just read it." Yeah, he's like, "I memorized."
They're gonna make a good team.
The chemistry with the cast seems really solid.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I mean, dude. Short Round's making a comeback, dude.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Perfect for the role. He's like, we're all gonna die. I mean,
yeah.
Well, what's crazy is that that guy. I mean, I hate that there's such a time jump between when he was a child actor in like the Goonies and Indiana Jones and all that to now. And I know he put out other stuff, but the most recent that with him playing the husband and Everything Everywhere All at Once. I still think that the scene where he gives that line to her, where he's like, because all throughout the movie, she's talk about how plain Jane her life is, what could be, this, that, and the other, and then there's that moment where he just looks at her and he's like, I know you think I'm a pussy, that I'm just a pushover, that this life sucks, but like we run this laundromat and I have my wife, I'm making
could
money.
Be worse.
Well, yeah, he's basically like, I like our life together.
Yeah.
Like,
Kinda
you
sad
think
that you
it's
hate it.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, I think it's wonderful. We made it to America. You know, all that kind of stuff. Like, it was just a really good delivery, and it was such a gut punch in a movie where you're rooting for that woman most of the film. You're like, yeah, fucking tap into yourself where you're fucking kung fu master or whatever. But then, like, you know, you finally get that moment with him where he's like, you know, him being real as fuck, and then seeing him be completely silly, whimsical, and Loki. I mean, the guy's got chops, and it kind of makes me feel bad that I haven't went back and tried to find any stuff that he might have been in, like, in between.
Right.
And
There's
see no
always
man.
time. Yeah. That's been a minute too.
Yeah. Well, look, he grew in, you know.
Yeah.
He like grew into the role.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
he
think about how
reached
much
an
money he
age
probably
and-
made off of those, you know?
Yeah.
Because the roles he was in were pretty big.
Oh, those were huge movies. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's still getting residuals.
probably didn't
from...
make too much off of Indiana Jones. Well, I can tell you exactly what his net worth is. Would you like to know?
Sure.
Let me guess.
All right.
10 million.
You got anything, Trav? You're gonna be surprised.
I'm gonna go with 30 million.
$1 million.
Jesus.
I mean, he just started,
Wow.
you know, like he said in some of those interviews, he's like, my wife was, you know, he was working like on movies and stuff and just kind of working
Yeah.
for a living. And his wife was like, no, do it. And he's like, oh, okay. So he kind of just got back into the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so he did. So that was, he just had his child actor days, and he just went on and lived a normal life.
Yeah. And I'm sure that pays well, but you don't get that money when you're a kid.
Nah, he just got
You
a
know
lot
what
of
I'm
money
saying?
real quick, you know.
Yeah.
Parents.
Well, good on the dude, man, because like he's good
He's
at
made one hell
what
of
he
a comeback.
does. Yeah, and I mean, I I just love the whole scene where he's just walking in from he's like, the blast doors won't open. We're all gonna die. Like,
Their chemistry. I'm so excited to see more of them. Just them. I could watch an entire series of all four of them sitting in a room talking.
Yeah.
Just
Be a
talking
great
about what's
podcast.
happening. Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, dude, just imagine the possibilities of Tom Hiddleston as the Doctor
Oh,
with either
Oh.
Mobius or Ouroboros
I
as
mean,
the
he could have
companion.
more than one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll cross that bridge.
Dude, I would even be okay with them casting the chick as the Doctor.
Sure.
The chick Loki. Chloki.
Well, Sylvia.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying
Like,
that
dude,
whoever.
let it go.
I mean, I'm sure
you
that
and the girl, you and the girl, you're a little obsessed. No,
I'm-
but for real, what's
I'm
Sylvia?
I feel like the pitch for the show had to be the dude sat down and he said, "All right, think of this: time cops." You know,
Yeah.
with Owen Wilson and
With a
Tom
budget.
Hiddleston. They're like, yeah, they lean in and they go, "Tell us more."
Dude,
Yeah.
$141 million on these 6 episodes.
You can
I
see
mean,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
I love the color.
Yeah.
It looks so much better than the films. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love the aesthetic. It reminds me of BioShock before shit gets out of hand.
Yeah.
Or like Fallout.
The
You
flying
know what I mean?
cars.
Yeah. Like it
But they
reminds
look
me
like they're from the 50s or something.
Yeah.
They
Well,
look
just that
old.
weird. Well, just that weird landscape, like before the, the whole Fifth Element. It made me feel like it. It reminded me of the Fifth Element, where you got the wide shot where you saw all the vehicles traveling around.
yeah.
Ever so often, you'd see like a Kang statue off in the distance. It's like exactly where is the TVA? You know,
Yeah.
like what dimension, like what pocket dimension are they in? You know.
It's everywhere.
Where's Sylvia?
Yeah. Where's Sylvia?
They've got
We
to
gotta
reverse
She's
the-
working at Burger King. Or no, McDonald's in the 80s or something. Right?
Yeah.
right.
And
They
it
roll
looked
up
like
there.
McDonald's in the 80s.
Oh well, what's crazy is that 100% has to be some sort of town that they filmed in where like there's an authentic rebuild. You know what I mean? Like, because
Well, I was
my
like,
wife
"Ooh,
was
product
my
placement."
wife was she was pointing out some of the details to that. She was like, that's 100% out of that shit.
Wow. We got a little bit of movie news here, though, if you want to hit on it real quick. So, the Michael Myers cinematic universe is being planned after Miramax lands TV rights to the Halloween franchise. So, the future of Halloween lies entirely with Miramax and does the promise of a lucrative cinematic horror universe. After the intense bidding war, Miramax has officially secured television rights to the horror icon Michael Myers franchise. The deal that was inked with Trancas International Films will eventually pave the way for a TV series based on the Halloween mythology. The head of worldwide television at Miramax, Mark Helwig, said in a statement per Deadline, "We couldn't be more excited to bring Halloween to television. We are thrilled to expand our long and successful partnership with Trancas and the brilliant Malik Akkad in introducing this iconic franchise to a new form of storytelling and a new generation of fans." The heads at Trancas International Film, Malik Akkad, said in the same release, Trancas International Films is extremely enthused to be expanding our long-standing relationship with Miramax, and we look forward to working with Mark Helwig and the entire team in creating this new chapter. Helwig and Akkad are reported to be overseeing the Halloween franchise moving forward in a creative collaboration that could spawn a Michael Myers cinematic horror universe, since Miramax now controls both the film and television rights to the mythology that all began with filmmaker John Carpenter's Halloween in 1978. So, I mean, we talked about it last week. A24 was in the running. Miramax landed it, so we'll see what. Here's the thing: do I think that a Halloween television series will do well? Eh.
I
I mean,
mean,
Well, I feel like the best, instead of what would have made me more hopeful is that instead of cinematic universe, because that implies like, you know, crossovers, all this little garbage and stuff.
yeah,
I wish they would do something if they were going to do a Halloween TV show. Take John Carpenter's original idea for Halloween,
mm-hmm.
that it was going to be a one and done. You were going to have the babysitter, murder movie be the Halloween story, of course, but have every episode be another anthological installment.
Yeah,
Maybe have some overlap that culminates in a finale
yeah,
to do the shared universe quote, but like just do that, because I mean, what is there to link Michael Myers to in a cinematic universe that would be even remotely attention grabbing?
yeah.
Like
Well,
he
and
stumbles into Crystal Lake and then it's like, oh, there's just this long awkward silence in the woods with Michael and Jason.
yeah, yeah. I mean that would be one way of making it happen, but I feel like it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Because like, what kind of longevity realistically are they going to get out of bringing Michael Myers to both the big screen and small screen? Whereas if they decide to do this like whole anthology type series that John Carpenter like originally kind of set out to do, and then kind of followed up with Season of the Witch. And people, I mean, the reason Season of the Witch is like a cult hit is because people liked it, but not as a Halloween movie. So like it's just one of those weird situations like that where it's like they're damned if they do, damned if they don't.
Yeah.
Are they going to
And,
be spending a ton of money on something that's not going to net anything?
well, it also, and I mean, I guess just from the amount of screen time we see it anyway, I feel like also the whole idea of Michael Myers get up, the
Hmm.
coveralls, the fucking shakes, the Shatner mask. I don't know why Shakespeare, but the Shatner
Hmm.
mask, everything. Just the concept of the shape.
Yeah.
that's supposed to be, that's the big intimidation factor. That's supposed to be the whole thing where when you see it on screen, it's supposed to elicit a response from you, the viewer.
Yeah.
And if you keep seeing it so goddamn much, it kind of takes the piss out of it towards like, oh, yeah, well, there's old Michael.
Well, it's like
exactly.
we just finished. We just ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So
there hasn't been enough time.
Like within a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Halloween ends, but yeah, that was one.
October the 14th, 2022.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
yeah, almost a year to the day by 4 days.
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's interesting, and it's interesting that like there was a bidding war for this.
Yeah.
I really hope that there's a good idea nestled in there somewhere, and I think that there will be, and I think that like I think it'll be decent. I don't know if it'll be good, but I think it'll be decent and watchable. But at the same time, it just
But good ideas in Hollywood are often carried by humble people that they won't go over the shouting match of the people that are there to make it, to climb the ladder business wise and make money.
yeah. So
And
we'll see how
sadly,
this.
those are the fuckers that get given these projects, man.
Yeah. So we'll see how this fares. I mean, I'm, you know, neither here nor there on the situation. We'll see how it pans out. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Either
Well,
way.
I'm over there, far the fuck away from it, Griffin.
well, I mean,
I've picked a side in this debate. You need to too. This is a war for entertainment, Griffin.
I mean, we'll see.
Wait, sorry.
So we got a couple of little tidbits here on Kingsman and the King's Man. So Kingsman 3 is happening. Matthew Vaughn confirms we're working on that at the moment. So Matthew Vaughn has revealed that Kingsman 3 is happening, with the director hoping to release the sequel as soon as possible. Appearing at New York Comic Con, Vaughn offered a promising update in Kingsman 3, which will reportedly be titled Kingsman the Blue Blood, and his hopes to get on with the project before the actors all grow too old. Check out what Vaughn had to say about the long awaited Kingsman 3 below. We've got to get on with Kingsman 3 because I was joking that Colin Firth is going to end up being a portrait on the side while Taron is author. So we're working on that at the moment. It says, while details of Kingsman 3 remain largely under wraps, Vaughn has previously revealed that it will center on the relationship between Eggsy and Harry. Eggsy and Harry will be in it, obviously, but it's the gang coming back together, and it's one of those moments that when we wrote the screenplay, it was very much about, okay, I saw how people love the relationship of Eggsy and Harry, so we just come up with that thing, or come up with this thing. What could be the ultimate reason for them to either fall in love or to hate each other forever. So that's what this movie is all about, is why they will or won't they, let's just say. So yeah, we've got that, and then on the heels of that, they are talking about the King's Man 2, which will be about the rise of one Hitler. So, director Matthew Vaughn has offered details about his intention for the King's Man sequel, revealing that the follow up is about the rise of Hitler. Speaking with Collider, Vaughn confirmed that the King's Man 2 is indeed happening and will follow on from the questionable mid-credit scene at the end of the first outing. The next one, it is about the rise of Hitler and how Hitler did come to power and basically was supported by the English aristocracy. I can't ever say that word. Aristocracy. The filmmaker also revealed that the Kingsman sequel is currently titled The Traitor King, has been written, and it's pretty cool, and notes how topical the subject matter will feel. So I was like, well, that's interesting, and how the world was worrying so much about communism that fascism rose up. And I look at the world at the moment, everyone getting distracted and worrying about this and that. And if you worry too much about this, bad things can happen here. So it is a story that I think needs to be recalled. We're calling it The Traitor King. So I haven't watched The King's Man. I do want to watch it.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I watched Kingsman 1 and 2, of course.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed those.
I'm not. It's like the title, The King's Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, are they going camping? What's happening here? You know?
Yeah, right. What are they doing?
It's just a weird title.
Yeah.
Who's that over there? Oh, that's the King's Man. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, ooh la la, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not
Look
just a
at
man.
Yeah.
I'm the bloody king.
Eggsy and airy, isn't it?
Yeah. Airy. Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, I mean, it's ready.
What?
I'm ready.
What's
I'm ready
crazy is like, man, here we go with Hitler again.
Yeah.
If only he knew how big he would be in movies and TV.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got your own show, man, in the High Tower.
Yeah. I'm interested because I do want to watch The King's Man because I feel like I have a general idea of like, you know,
The
there's
trailer
some
was
crazy
cool.
yeah, there's some crazy shit happening. These dudes show up, Rasputin's there. But like now that we're getting Hitler involved,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
oh,
Like, yeah, what is this all
old
about?
pencil stash is showing up, huh?
Yeah. And it says that like he was funded by British or the English aristocracy.
I believe he was.
And then how like they're calling it the Traitor King. So that implies that he was a part of the King's Man.
Yeah.
But then he took over Germany.
Well, the Crown definitely put some funds in on that. I'm just saying. That's
so
that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, just maybe another Colin Firth Freebird scene is in order, guys.
That first Kingsman was so good.
So
like
good.
the second one was good, but it wasn't as good as that first one though, you know, like
was that the one with Sam Jackson?
Yeah, Sam Jackson was in the first one, and then the second one, the second one was with Channing Tatum and
that's right.
Pedro.
The damn the opening, the cold opening to Kingsman, where those guys drop in on Chopper to Money for Nothing.
Yeah, right. So, I'm interested in checking those out, though. I mean, I'd like to see a follow up to the Kingsman, but now I'm more interested in watching the King's Man.
Ooh.
So, ooh la la. So Warner Brothers is reportedly not letting James Gunn have total creative control over the DCU. So James Gunn and Peter Safran have met. What?
I'm sorry. It's a delayed response, dude, to you reading that headline. Because it's like, because remember, all right, before you even crack into this, just by the headline alone, earlier in the summer, everyone was
remember.
"Oh man, James Gunn, DC's head. It's gonna be amazing. It's in good hands." Now Warner Brothers like, whoa, because even James Gunn come out and said, "Yeah, dude, we're gonna have Blue Beetle. We're gonna have the Authority."
He said he was gonna do what he wanted to do, and he wasn't gonna let anyone. Remember?
Yeah.
He's like, "We're gonna make what we want to make."
Remember your daddy, James. Remember your daddy.
Well, and we had that conversation where it's like, excuse me, you've got the idea guy, James Gunn. You got the grounded, other half of that with Peter Safran. They're working together here. You've got, Safran is supposed to be like the anchor for James Gunn, and that's how I always looked at the situation. Now I'm not sure if that's how this article is being written because I haven't read the article all the way through, but I mean, that's kind of how I viewed their dynamic. And I thought that, you've got Gunn doing what he does best, coming up with crazy stories and bringing crazy characters and stuff into it, making some crazy nonsense. And you had Safran basically keeping him grounded and within reasonable expectations. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like, hey man, look, people are down to clown with you, but we can't be doing this silly shit every fucking movie.
Yeah. And I think that that's why he wants to start it with Superman first, is because if there's a movie that needs, other than Batman, if there's a movie that needs a specific tone, a specific style, it's Superman, right? So I think that like I think he wants to put that on Front Street where it's like here's my version of Superman. This is what I have in mind for Superman, and this is kind of how the DC is going to kind of roll
Well,
out and all that
and
stuff. So.
and that makes sense, but I feel like it doesn't take a James Gunn to to flesh something like that out. Like Superman is the center of DC. He's absolutely the tone setter, and Batman is the balance to that tone.
Mm. Well, no, I
But
agree, but I think
I don't think we need necessarily James Gunn's approach.
well that's why I think that he's doing Superman first because he's going to go with a different approach to it, just to let everybody know that like, hey, I'm not going to be Suicide Squadding everything up. Like, I'm actually
Yeah.
taking this shit serious. You know what I
And
mean? Like,
well, yeah, and like, and don't get me wrong, I do, I still, find Henry Cavill as my the Superman I needed to see at this point in my life.
yeah,
I'm not opposed to the more bright, optimistic, you know, tone that Superman carries in the book. I'm totally down with that as well.
yeah,
But it's the fact that we're going to get maybe one or, just a handful of the AAA DC characters, but it seems like a bulk of the continuity is going to be filled with his little attempts at capturing lightning in a bottle with obscure characters again. And not that those characters aren't worth attempting to make it to some sort of viable IP. I mean, hell, you've got the sandbox, see what you got,
Well, it also might
But
be the only chance you get to ever see that.
I mean, true.
You know what I
well,
mean?
Very true.
I
But
have a different opinion on that. I'll go into that here in a second.
I don't know. I just don't think I don't think I've seen enough of his projects to feel like he can leave that tone and style that's his.
Right.
Because
Yeah, I mean,
it would be required to establish something as much of a tent pole as say like Superman or Batman or any of those. And the thing with the obscure characters is that he's able to cash in on that ability, on his ability as a filmmaker, because a lot of the characters are ones that don't have the fan base community, or the fandom that some of the bigger characters are. So a lot of more stuff he can get away with and be forgiven of.
yeah, and I think that was my point. It's like I think that him approaching it with using these more niche characters is a very strategic call on his part because like and I thought that this was interesting. I was listening to a podcast the other day about Marvel and about Marvel's bankruptcy and the fact that they sold all of their A-list characters off and in the late 90s early 2000s, and that's why whenever Disney bought up Marvel, all they had access to realistically was B-tier characters and below, and they built a franchise, a multi-billion-dollar franchise off of B tier characters and below, to the point where they started pulling their A tier characters in with their B tier characters. You know what I mean? So like, I think it's a very strategic approach from Gunn to where he's like, we put one or two heavy hitter A list characters because it's kind of the idea of Jaws. It's kind of the idea of the last voyage of the Demeter, the shape, however you want to look at it. If you get to turn on your TV and see Superman or Batman every single week in every single movie that is produced by them, then like the fatigue will be there. He'll be able to get away with a lot more stuff by pulling these like B, C, D tier characters, and if it doesn't go well, then they don't have to bring those characters back. Whereas if it doesn't go well with whoever's version of Batman, that's kind of a big
Oh, your
deal.
fucking career's over,
Yeah, so I mean that allows not only him but other filmmakers more creative freedom to like take liberties with these characters. And here's a budget, here's the characters. Do like make your story. If it goes well, then sure we'll do more. If it doesn't, like Blue Beetle, I don't think Blue Beetle's going to be coming back in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I haven't watched it yet, right? But like with how much money that movie didn't make, yeah, I don't know if they're going to be, banking
I
on the Blue Beetle hype.
personally, as far as Blue Beetle, because I've from what I've seen of it, it feels to me like just a lot of people just didn't watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the
At
thing,
least
though.
at least that's
Should
my
have went to
takeaway.
streaming, which it will.
Well, I mean, it was one of those unfortunate,
And
middle of the road films. Like,
and I agree with everything that you were saying about the topic at hand, except the only difference we've got going on here is that in Marvel, James Gunn was able to do what he was doing because he had a showrunner that allowed him to do that, and a company that showrunner served that allowed him the room to breathe.
mm-hmm.
Warner Brothers is not Disney. They will shut that shit down and yank it right out from under him in a moment's notice, and could give zero fucks of what level of authority he's at.
Right.
Like
Well,
But that would be a
he's
PR disaster
for
if
sure.
they had to fire him. So,
but think about how many disasters Warner Brothers has had in the past 10 years with DC,
and then when he
yet
came in,
they
they had a
still
little
keep.
uptick, a little bit.
I mean, yeah. I'm
Come
not
on,
completely
rated R.
dogging. I'm not dogging Gunn completely, and the stuff he's put out is good. He's a consistent filmmaker. I guess I'm more nervous and skeptical still.
Yeah.
Just because, not necessarily because of not just what he's capable of
Well,
doing.
Warner Brother has
but,
burned us before.
Yeah, but how far is Warner Brothers going to let him run on his leash before they yank it back?
Article.
Right. Well, so it says here that James Gunn and Peter Safran have managed to make some relevant advances in the creation of a new DCU after having taken over as co-CEOs of DC Studios. But it seems that they do not have absolute freedom to work on projects focused on the comic book company's characters. After Marvel Studios began to dominate the world of superheroes at the end of the first decade of the 2000s and the beginning of the next one, Warner Brothers Pictures wanted to respond to the reign of the Disney franchise with its own connected universe, focusing on the characters from DC. For this, they called Zack Snyder, who had already demonstrated his skills in comic adaptations with Watchmen. Following a similar line to the story created by Alan Moore and completely moving away from what the MCU proposed, Snyder presented a dark and realistic vision of the characters with biblical references and moral reflections on the role of superheroes in the world, something that Marvel Studios would later do with Captain America Civil War. And although Snyder's films were a success, including Wonder Woman, which was directed by Patty Jenkins, the failure of Justice League and the enormous criticism received by Suicide Squad marked the beginning of a long and difficult period for DC in cinema. When Warner merged with Discovery and David Zaslav took the leadership of the company, he set his mind into putting focus on the great franchises, DC being one of them, but with a reboot of the universe under the vision of Gunn and Safran. But it seems that co CEOs don't have as much creative freedom as fans imagined. Although Gunn had previously revealed that DC Studios is an independent entity from Warner Brothers, despite being part of the company, a recent report published by Variety on the franchise's current problems confirmed that WB and Max are creatively involved with the DC slate, which means that the director of Guardians of the Galaxy and the producer will not be able to make decisions that do not also go through the management of Warner Brothers Discovery, which obviously. While this isn't necessarily a bad thing, it has been a problem for the DCU in the past. For example, the studio's choice to change David Ayer's Suicide Squad to make it funnier greatly harmed the film. Same thing happened with Justice League, something that became more evident with the success achieved with the Snyder's cut that was released on Max and was praised by both fans and critics, proving that the director's vision was actually really good. Marvel Studios DC's direct competition management is very different, since Feige has practically absolute freedom when choosing which stories he wants to tell and how he wants to do it, something that has worked very well for them. However, Gunn and Safran's DCU will be a reboot of the franchise, so they will surely learn as they go what works best for the company and its characters. So this is basically telling us stuff that we already knew. Here's the thing. Like Feige has free reign to do whatever he wants, right? Because Feige's making money for the company, right? Feige don't make money for company, then that means that Feige's superiors are going to come knocking on his door and be like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? So, like, this is information that we already knew as a whole.
Well, it just cements that. It just cements that, and to put it in Shark Tank terms, if they own DC and they were the boards, James Gunn and Safran have 49%. Warner Brothers has 51%. They have the final say.
Well, yeah, a lot of money.
But here's the thing, though. Me personally, this is just personal opinion. I don't think that like Zaslav is a smart enough businessman to first of all like to put all of his eggs in the basket of Gunn. Well, he could have went. They could have went one of two directions with this. They could have either got a showrunner or a creative lead like a Feige, which is what they did. They went that route, or they could have just started parting and parceling the properties off to different people. They decided to bring in one or two, a creative team of individuals that's kind of spearheading everything. I mean that's what companies do. If I own Warner Brothers, or if I'm the CEO of Warner Brothers, I don't have time to make Superman stories, but I'm going to bring in somebody that I'm confident that can make Superman stories happen for me, whether they're writing them, whether they're whatever their involvement is in it. I'm going to put that weight and that responsibility on that person. And I think with them bringing Gunn and Safran in and putting that much weight and responsibility on a failed, almost dead franchise at this point, they're going to have to nut up or shut up. And I mean, how many times are they realistically going to reboot the DC universe before they just call it quits and just release Batman movies every year and Superman movies every 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's probably where we're headed. I mean, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, I think that this is the last opportunity that they're going to have to create a collaborative universe, like a fully encompassing universe. And if this doesn't pan out, and I think Gunn knows that, I think Safran knows that, and I think that they're going to sink everything that they have within themselves into that. Because if they fail at this, he's still going to make movies. He ain't going to be making Guardians of the Galaxy movies anymore. He ain't going to be making Superman movies anymore. Like, he's going to go down with a ship on that one. So that's why I'm thinking like Gunn's a smart enough guy to know that like if he screws this up, that's that. Like that's it for him. Like on that level, that's it for him. So
but also he's that level. He's that level. In order for him to pull it off the top of stuff, he's the kind of person that'll also be like, "Fuck this, I'm done." And it could be a move that happens. That's I mean, I think that's as much an option on the table as all the other stuff because, what if Warner Brothers starts to pull their strings on Gunn a little bit, and Gunn's like, fuck this, fuck it, I don't care if this ruins the DC universe, I don't care if it ruins Warner Brothers comic book movie ventures at all. Like, fuck this, you're bad business, and I'm not doing it. And I mean, like you said, he'll still keep making movies. It just won't be of this type of stuff,
Right. But I mean, who's going to willingly tank their career and their name?
But someone that's going to keep some sort of integrity to themselves. I mean, I don't think it would. I feel like walking away from making comic book movies or running a business that makes them, I don't think that's going to tank someone like James Gunn's career. Will it limit his opportunities? Sure. But I don't think it's going to just bottom it out and we'll never, it'll never be a situation where it's like, you'll never get a job in this town again, son. I don't think it's going to necessarily be that. But I mean, I just feel like the ball is still very much is very much in his court because at the end of the day, with all these projects, people walk away from them all the time. They change hands a million times. He's head of DC today, he could get the axe tomorrow. We could wake up with a headline in the morning with Warner Brothers being like, you know what, we fucked up. Let's put Snyder back. I mean, I know that's a total assful, but you know what I mean. It's just hard to trust Warner Brothers more so than it is than my my apprehension towards Warner Brothers is more so than my skepticism of James Gunn.
Yeah. And I get, like, I would be in the same boat if the merger and Zaslav wasn't involved. If we were talking about Warner Brothers 5 to 10 years ago, then yeah, I would be. But like, I don't know. It's like this is to me, this is going to be it. It's either going to work out or it's just going to fall into like completely into obscurity, and it's just going to be what it's going to be. So I'm under the mentality where it's like this is it. Like I'm gonna be hopeful to the end. Like I was hopeful, that they would bring Snyder back in and let him finish his stuff, but that's never gonna happen. So
Yeah,
like,
of course. Yeah.
yeah. So we'll
Well, I
see.
mean, well, Warner Brothers as well. They need to be very. They need to be just as strategic about this as Gunn. They need,
Hmm.
and with that being their expectations on it as on their level, like whenever the next niche character that drops, that's not Batman or Superman, that's not $1 billion franchise. When they come out, they need to look at it for what that is and not have the don't expect an authority movie to make Superman numbers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that's what they held. And I know that Snyder was handling the Pantheon right out the gate. But that's how Warner Brothers treated the Snyder universe. Is each film that came out under him, Warner Brothers got increasingly more critical on it.
Yeah.
And I feel like they might try that they will. I feel like just even with Zaslav there, you know, even though he is the final say, he's still got a shit ton of people he's got to get on his side to be like, let's move forward with this.
Yeah.
Shareholders, all that bullshit.
Right. Well, we'll see how she shakes out. It all come out in the wash, but we do have a little bit of Deadpool news here. So the Deadpool 3 release date is at true risk, according to the director. So the release date may be at risk after all, although recent rumors indicated that the film will manage to maintain its May the 3rd, 2024 release date. Director Sean Levy is not so sure that they will be able to meet that goal if the actors' strike continues. After AMPTP and WGA confirmed that they had reached an agreement and that the writer's strike would finally come to an end, it seemed that all the efforts of the major studios and streaming companies would be focused on resolving the conflict with the actors. So that halted productions could get underway and the crisis in Hollywood would diminish. Unfortunately, after several days of new negotiations, no agreement was reached and the situation seems to be worse than before. With the end of the strike increasingly distant, projects like Fantastic Four and Deadpool 3 are at great risk of being delayed, even when the next Merc with a Mouth movie was already well underway. In a recent interview with The Wrap, director Sean Levy was asked if Deadpool 3 will manage to meet its release date, and his response was not very encouraging. I wish I knew. I don't even know if we officially have a release date. I know we were going to be May the 3rd. Certainly, the actor's strike and the long pause in production have put that release date in true risk. We've shot half the movie. I've edited half the movie. We're dying to get back to work and get this movie out next year. The outlet also asked Levy about the fifth and final season of Stranger Things, another of the big projects that has been affected by the strikes. I can't say that we are hoping to start filming as soon. I can't say that we are hoping to start filming as soon as possible. We really need the actor strike resolved first. The Duffers have been hard at work since the writing strike ended. We're busy on a bunch of fronts it's also because we also have our Stranger Things play opening in London imminently. It's fabulous. It's fucking awesome. So, yeah, they may push the date back, which I mean, look, they can push the date on Deadpool back for 3 years, and people are still gonna go watch
Yeah.
it, right? So at the end of the day, it'll be what it'll be. But hopefully now the writer's strike will end. Next it'll be the freaking director's strike or something. You know, like let's just go through the motions. So we'll see what happens with it. Last up here, Sony blocked Spider-Man No Way Home from having key villain face Tom Holland's hero. I thought that this was interesting. So cinemagoers could have witnessed Tom Holland's Spider-Man pit his wits and superhuman agility against a different antagonist in the third film of the franchise, Spider-Man No Way Home. Visualize an environment wherein the young, shrewd web swinger becomes prey as Craven the Hunter, with a soul engulfed in a deadly hero hunting obsession, silently prowls the metropolis. The dramatic orchestration that led to the ensemble of notorious nemesis Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Sandman, Lizard, and Electro confronting Tom Holland's Spider-Man unfolded before us, carving an episode that is frequently held as one of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's peak presentations in its most recent years. Yet the conspicuous absence of one villain leaves us musing over the tantalizing alternative universes left unexplored. It comes to light through the freshly minted Revelation source MCU The Reign of Marvel Studios by Joanna Robinson, Dave Gonzalez, and Gavin Edwards that Craven the Hunter was once in the running to be a pivotal adversary in this third act of Spider-Man's current cinematic tapestries. Writers Chris McKinnon and Eric Summers discovered that Craven was kept off the table, reserved for a dedicated introduction through his solo film by Sony Pictures. Tom Holland did pull back the curtain a tad in past discussions, revealing that director John Watts had visions for a Craven-centric film, as per Collider. Holland deliberately veiled the details, safeguarding the potential of this narrative to be spun in the future, albeit admitting to the allure of the pitch concept. It evokes curiosity about what precisely the theme was and how it could have intertwined with the current storyline and character arc of our cherished wall crawler. It's crazy that they kept Craven off the table for this solo movie that's probably going to tank, right?
Well, dude, you know what they did? Marvel came in there, mentioned it. Yeah, we like for Craven the Hunter show. They're like, do we own that? No, we're making a movie first.
Yeah, right.
You know that's what happened.
They've got to
probably never thought about doing it.
No. Well, they've got to continue to make those properties
or they
so
lose
that
it.
Spider-Man, so that Spider-Man license doesn't go back. So
I mean, we haven't seen shit about Craven since that trailer dropped.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think it's on halt. I think it's on halt with everything else because of all these strikes and everything that's happening. But still, though, it's like, how cool would it have been to see Craven actually show up and show out? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be fair here.
And that be the one person you didn't see in the trailer?
Yeah, right.
Let's face it, everybody was in the trailer.
Yeah. And like, there wasn't a Craven in any of the live action flicks, right? So they could have cast, you know what I'm saying? Like, they could have cast somebody. It could have been an amazing, like, here's the original villain that's never been in anything else, along with these classic villains, you know?
Well, wasn't there, I could be wrong, in the first Black Panther, whenever they're in that museum, wasn't there some Craven references?
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. But you know,
Moorhead.
They can tickle the balls, but they can't, you know, put them in your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
I
think it's hard for them to want to put those two on screen just yet, simply because the minute that happens, people are gonna immediately start wanting The Last Hunt.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna be like,
that's not Disney friendly, really.
No,
but it's Sony friendly.
Yeah,
because like it, I mean, we'll probably never get the movie, but like it ends with Craven blowing his fucking brains out.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. They're not gonna do that.
No.
They're like, we're gonna make 10 more movies.
Yeah.
We're craving more money.
The
I
only
thought
one that
that was
stays dead is Uncle Ben, you know?
Yeah. I thought that was interesting, though. It would have been cool to see Craven show up. But, I mean, hey, we get a Craven solo outing where he's drinking the blood of lions and being.
He's the hero the savannah needs.
Who
Yeah.
was it that Tom Hardy played?
Venom.
The first one wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they might surprise us.
I mean, I got more faith in Gunn.
Yeah,
Well,
for real.
Yeah, and I mean, and honestly, they gave us enough overlap of Venom and Tom Holland's Spider-Man
Morbin time.
to where we, the audience, know like they're keeping that in their back pocket. Like that conflict is absolutely probably on a business level needs to be discussed across the table. But as far as like in-house like content, it's clearly they're keeping it in their back pocket, kind of like how they've been doing so with the X-Men.
Yeah.
Like it's like, all right, shit's getting stale. Spider-Man versus Venom finally. Oh shit, okay, that'll because everyone knows that a Disney made Spider-Man film featuring Venom is going to sell a bajillion dollars.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're talking the same Disney that did Werewolf by Night. They actually had a teaser. I didn't put it in here, but it's coming out, I think, on the 20th in color. So
yeah,
there's that. The trailer, it doesn't look like they went in and colored it. It was just a small, like minute long.
Yeah.
Didn't show much, but it didn't look bad. It's very colorful.
Yeah.
Very.
I'll check the trailer. I mean, I'm going to watch it at some point.
You want me to put it in here?
I mean, I'm cool.
Right,
I'm upset about it. But I am ready for some Triggity trailers.
Hang on, I'm trying to pull this up and add it. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Paste it there. All right, everybody's got you full screen. You'll have to adjust your quality.
Yeah, I'm ready.
It'll be low quality off the get-go. At least mine was.
Yeah. Oh, I'm ready. I've got it pulled up. I'm good to go.
You good, Trav?
Yeah, man.
All right, here we go. If anybody gets an ad, just roll with it. We're all watching at the same time. We should all have it. Can't skip it.
Yeah,
it'll be short. If it pops up and says skip it, skip it.
Yeah. Oh.
What just happened?
It just started playing.
What's it playing?
Monarch.
That's the wrong trailer already.
All right, we're here.
I'm back to American Fiction.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Ray.
I like this guy. He's good. This is the first time I've seen this dude play something that's not a villain.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't one in what you call it, but it's just different. So he flubs it and it sells.
He writes the poop that took a pee.
I like this.
Jesus.
I mean,
I kind of want to peep that.
yeah.
So Ryan Johnson's involved.
Uh,
Guess so.
I mean,
He was on that
let's
title
see.
card at the end.
American Fiction. That makes sense now.
Yeah, right.
Executive producer.
That's cool.
I'll be checking that out. Drama, comedy, dramedy.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Y'all
like
see what
Jeffrey
we got
Wright.
here.
Monarch?
We got a trailer.
That's what it's got for me.
All right. Let's see if this works. Yeah.
Fire. Fire, fire, fire.
It says streaming November 17th. Hell yeah.
Look at that big old foot.
Just in time for Loki to be over, probably. Oh, was
that Anders?
It was, dude. What?
What's he doing?
Skin that smoke wagon. Was it Warner Brothers that did the movies?
Yeah.
It's weird that this is on Apple TV, but they got budget.
Yeah.
They got iPhone money.
Well, it's going to be interesting if we find out that Monarch already found the Hollow Earth, you know.
Mm-hmm.
A vampire. Oh shit. It's wild because they're about to drop that. What was it? -1? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, -1. Yeah.
Let's go.
God, that looks so good. That looks amazing.
Just let it go to the next one. I'm gonna stop it. All right, Markiplier. Remember that?
Iron Lung?
Yeah. Full trailer. The last trailer was like just the shot of the sub, so it's kind of like those dudes that went to see Titanic. I was like, because that's what it was just a
Yeah.
small sub. Cut you with it.
Yeah, I remember.
If I needed to.
I watched. I actually watched him play this game
Oh,
after we talked about it. Yeah.
was he having a good
So,
time? Like you
I
watched
mean,
him all? You watched just a little,
I
or
didn't
did you do
watch
the
like
whole?
the.
Okay,
No. But I watched enough to be like, okay, this is a Markiplier video.
you could see why he's into it.
Yeah.
Game cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's a horror game,
Yeah,
so it's like, look, man, I get like Amnesia and all this
sure.
stuff, and Five Nights at Freddy's and all that shit, but like, it's all the same. Like,
Yeah.
let's be fair. It's a horror game. It's all the same.
Well, like PewDiePie took that shit to a whole new level.
Yeah, I know. Now
Remember the jump
everybody's
scare
made,
game?
yeah, and
To
it's
watch
like,
the streamer freak out, for him to go
yeah,
like speed.
yeah. Here's the thing: you want to watch a streamer jump? Cut the news on. You know what I mean? You want to see the real horrors of the world? Cut the news on.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Y'all have access to people's net worth. Pull up Markiplier's.
Oh, he's got to be loaded.
Oh,
He's
it's
like
absurd.
old YouTube money.
Yeah.
Let's see what my overview says here. Yeah, his channel's raking in about 300K a month. That's just the
Maybe
channel.
more. Mm-hmm.
Doesn't include sponsors.
Yeah.
Yeah, this dude's gonna be stupid rich.
Yeah.
$45 million.
It's crazy.
A YouTuber. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's fuck you money.
Yeah. Oh, he's like, I'm gonna make a movie. And I saw an article. He was supposed to be in some other movie, but he's like, yeah, I can't make it because I'm making my own. It was like a big movie.
Yeah.
Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's. He was supposed to be in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, little schedule conflict. It's like, dude, you got it like that? All right. Let's peep his trailer. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
He watched Dune.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna Skarsgård up out of the blood. This trailer ain't showing shit either. Upside down. Oh. I mean, we gotta watch it when it comes out, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'll check it out for sure.
Cool.
Cool. Are those freaking sharks with freaking laser beams?
Yeah. How about
Touch stuff with
no, you crazy Dutch bastard?
Cool.
Is that another frickin' A24 trailer with
That's
frickin'
A24?
ominous sound?
Oh, it's gonna be ruddy
Yeah.
mysterious. You ready?
I thought it was named something different. Whenever I glanced at it, I'm not gonna
It's
tell
gonna
you.
It's gonna show
What?
a tree wafting in the breeze, and it's gonna be like, sometimes home is anywhere, and there's gonna be people like, oh god, down to watch.
I'm ready.
It's gonna be ruddy mysterious. You already know.
Yeah.
A24s. What's that tree about?
Film festival. Oh,
I'm down to watch that.
look at the color.
Yeah. Ooh,
Pretty sure
is
that's
this
a
war
Nazi.
movie? Yeah,
Oh, are they living in Argentina?
I think
It
this is
kind of
some.
looks like it. Think it's what?
I think this is some Holocaust stuff.
That's not Argentina. That would have been weird to live in. Yeah. It's like a family.
Yeah.
All that's going on.
I mean, is it foreign? Because if it is, we can put it in foreign film February. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Nobody said anything. Oh, I'm sure they're going to speak German. Right?
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah. I mean,
if they don't, it's going to be like, it'll be like, what's his name? And, Walk the Line, the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix in that new movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where everybody's got an accent. He's just like, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't want to do that. It's like, Napoleon?
Yeah, easy. Yeah. I won't do that. Candy Cane Lane?
Eddie Murphy.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Languages English, Polish, German. Release date January.
The zone of interest?
Yeah. January 18th, 2024, Mexico. That's where it's coming out first.
That's wild.
They want to test the waters.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Oh, we got a Christmas movie. A little family fun.
I'll watch it because I've seen every movie with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll peep it. Nothing like a little family fun.
Yeah.
During the holidays.
Holidays. It looks like it's trying to revive that late 90s, or late 80s, 90s Christmas movie vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm down.
It had Christmas Vacation, Santa Claus.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah. Who's Eileen?
Come on, Eileen. All right. That's the chick from Game of Thrones. You know nothing, Jon Snow. He's always good.
Oh, God. Got some Monroe vibes going on here.
Oh. She wasn't in Game of Thrones. Jojo Rabbit.
Oh yeah,
And
okay.
old. She looks like that girl. When I heard her voice, I was like, that's not that girl's voice. Uh-oh. What?
I don't know. I mean, I'll watch it, but I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Anne Hathaway's not really there.
Yeah, it's all in her head.
Yeah, she's coming out of her shell.
Mm.
Gonna be a big star.
I come out of my shell whenever I think of Anne Hathaway.
Hathaway's around.
Yeah, yeah, you know.
Ooh la la.
Please don't destroy. Treasure a foggy mountain.
You'll see why I dropped this. Check out who it's got in it. Je ne sais quoi. I was about to say, that's the Soldier Boy song.
Yeah.
He said, she said glasses look like Tim Burton drew him. That's funny. That's not going to end well. Why did it walk away with an attitude? This looks funny. He looks like a colonial ghost. The cop from Reno 911. The black guy.
Yeah.
This looks funny. The hawks flying with him. Look.
What the fuck?
That bear looked fake. That looks funny.
You know what that looks like? It looks like the dudes from fucking Anders.
Yeah.
It looks like they wrote it and they were like, we're gonna make this movie, and they're like,
they did have some deals with Peacock.
yeah. So
that's
looks
fucking
like
workaholics, dude.
it looks like a Workaholics movie without the
For real.
Workaholics guys in it. Yeah, right.
They had a movie deal with them and then they canceled it.
Yeah,
Peacock. They got so upset. I heard some podcasts.
yeah.
They may have
So-
stole their idea.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Right.
like, you
Like
gave us
that's what.
we paid you for the script.
Yeah.
These guys are cheaper.
Yeah. That's what it looks like to
It
me.
really
though.
does. It has that vibe.
Yeah. Well, like them rollerblade or skating to work, like
Yeah.
that was
For
workaholics,
real.
like so. But anyway, I mean, it does look funny, but
It does.
I'm excited about this trailer. Low key, get it? Low key? No.
Yeah.
This is some more A24 Trav. Iron Claw.
Oh man, more ominous music.
No, we read an
Yeah,
article about this.
Yeah, this is the Zac Efron wrestling movie. He
I
got
think you're
jacked.
gonna like. Oh, dude, check him out. Look at him. Steroids. We haven't had a wrestling movie since The Wrestler. Beat a piece of meat. Hell yeah. The dad was the guy from Mindhunter. That guy.
Yeah.
Love that dude. Look at that breakfast. Man, Zac Efron really broke out of that High School Musical shit, dude.
Right.
Really. Good song choice, trailer guy. The Haynes. Somebody's going to get an award or be nominated.
Yeah.
Look at him. No
Tree next to
shoes.
Tom Sawyer is pretty dope.
That was Ric Flair. Let's go.
Yeah. Based on true story.
You know what
It
else
looks-
is based on true story? No.
Not
Willy
only, right?
That shit does look good, though.
It looks so good, dude. I really like Zac Efron. Like, anyway.
Yeah, calm down.
Well, I mean, like he can do comedy.
He's
do
good,
drama.
dude. What was that
Like-
first comedy?
It was the one with Seth Rogen.
Neighbors. Yes.
Yeah. And he was fucking killing it in that.
Great. It was like, oh, you're funny.
Yeah.
No singing.
You're not just some high school musical
kid. Yeah.
Yeah, like come on.
All right.
And then Gold.
Yeah, I enjoyed him in Gold.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kid's got chops.
Yeah, give him an award. Shit.
I think he'll get nominated. Somebody will in that movie.
Yeah.
Like they're acting their asses off.
Yeah.
And the color, just I could watch that trailer again. Let's rewind it. No, I'm just kidding.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. We got another Wonka trailer.
This
Timothy
was a little
Chalamet.
longer.
Okay.
I don't even remember the first one.
Had Hugh Grant and everybody.
But he's in this one too. Did everybody got mad?
Yeah.
Who's gonna be the Oompa Loompa? Who do you pick? Robert Downey. He's like, so here's the thing. I'm an Oompa Loompa. You know, he's all talking fast. No, dude.
They were
Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn should be the Oompa Loompa. That would be hilarious. And he talks fast. He's doing that character.
Everybody was pissed because they hired a
But
tall
Oompa Loompas
person.
is not real.
They hired a tall person to play
A small person.
yes,
But the
traditionally,
guy that did the one with Johnny Depp, he's not like,
no,
I mean, he's small, but
yeah, but not, yeah. Anyway,
I mean, all right, I'm playing it.
enough of this
Get
shit.
into this. Okay. I think he's a great pick.
Yeah,
He's going to have good banter.
yeah.
Here it comes. He said, do what now?
Lofty.
Oh, she said teapot. Was that Rich Fuller? It
I think,
is.
yeah.
he he gagged. Damn.
Is that Mr. Bean?
I like it. Oh, I think he's going to be the only one.
He's got his own little
Yeah,
case.
I'm going flat. Look, he's got drinks, cherries. He's going to be great.
Yeah.
We got a sassy Oompa Loompa.
Look, man, I'm really excited about watching
That looks great.
Yeah, I mean,
it looks better than the Johnny Depp one, dude.
yeah, for
Because
sure.
it kind of goes, it's doing its own thing instead of trying to.
Yeah.
You know, we already had the original. Don't ever try
Yeah.
to tell that story.
Yeah,
Do another.
and it's smart on their part to not try to remake that again. You know, like they tried it once. It just anyway. What do we have here?
This is so. 2 weeks ago, they dropped this trailer. They have released the first 4 Hellraiser movies in 4K. They got a 4K
Ooh.
remaster.
Okay.
I don't even know if this will let you go to 4K. It will. This
Okay.
shit looks great. Like, it makes me want to watch them again just to see them in this kind of quality.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
When I saw this, I was like, oh. You know, it's like an $80 set. Some places $55. It dropped in the UK first.
Right.
It's out over there.
Yeah.
You know, it's out over
Quartet of Torment. That's awesome, though.
there. I had to put it in here because it's like and they've cut together like it looks like
all
the
of
form.
them?
Yeah, it's a pretty cool trailer.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm
All right.
shredding.
Look at the quality.
Mm. Damn.
How good does he look?
Yeah.
Not quite.
Mm.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's
I
some
may have to
high
pick
quality.
that up.
Oh, I got an ad.
Yeah.
Skip now. Pause it up.
I mean, it's got the first 4 movies in
Mm-hmm.
a box set with a book.
Yep.
May have to comp that for sure. That's
Well, in that quality, you can really see
yeah.
how different that looks. Like when it first shows Pinhead, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, look at the lighting, the shadows, the
Right.
I mean, it's
quality.
cool that it's a box set with the sequels, but it would have been really nice if they would have had a separate one that's just that first movie, but with like a nice steel book, concept art, maybe a special release of Hellbound Heart, just something like that.
Well, they'll probably normally when they drop those box sets, they'll drop them first, and then once they get the money off that, then they'll start releasing them individually.
The 4K remaster, yeah.
Yeah, because they did the same thing like when they brought the Friday the 13th movies over to Blu-ray and the Halloween movies. They did box sets for all of them, and then like a year later, they started releasing them individually. So, but yeah, I'm ready
Everybody
for.
queued up on this.
Yeah, I
No
don't even know
ad.
how to. Yeah, no, I'm
Don't
good.
worry about it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
How much is
I
that?
mean, $3.
This dude is in every trailer we
Yeah,
watch.
that his voice.
Yeah.
He's always the guy. Wait for the tone shift.
Mm.
It's coming. Why does his voice sound like that?
It just
Got a
he
little bit of
projects it.
reverb on it.
Yeah.
Here we go. Watch him build his weapon out of car parts. Willing. Ah. He met someone else with a fucking voice, you know?
Yeah. It's the battle of the voices, dude.
That's what made me pull it over. That looks like a wig.
So I said Bagger Vance.
It did. It's like you left off Legend, bitch. I don't care. They love putting that echo.
Yeah.
Did he just say, bro, I don't care.
He did. All right, we got our little. It's 59 seconds, but it gets the point across.
Yeah.
Werewolf
I'm
by
ready.
Night in color. All right. Look at that room.
It still looks cool.
It does. Look at the colors. I think they did recolor it. Her jacket was red, then it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Look at this. Bad. Oh, y'all know.
Oh, yeah.
That's the end of the trailers. Smiling face. All right. Let's see here. No one will save you.
Is this
Well,
our
they are.
alien?
That's the
horror
alien
film?
one. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And that trailer looked pretty good.
Yeah. Hour and a half, PG-13.
Ooh. PG. Well, they're like, less is more.
Yeah. Wait for the cream. So this is actually rated higher on IMDb than Demeter was.
Dude, the Rotten Tomato score is 82.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now the Google's 68.
I mean, that's more realistic, though.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
$22 million budget. Trailer looked good. It's some new.
Yeah, yeah. I like a little alien with my horror.
With your what?
With my horror.
Oh. Why'd you say something?
Wait. Just 3 days after the film was released on Hulu, Stephen King gave it the highest praise on his Twitter account, where he posted this comment: "No one will save you. Brilliant, daring, involving, scary. You have to go back over 60 years to a Twilight Zone episode called The Invaders to find anything remotely like it. Truly unique."
Stephen King has Hulu.
That's what confirmed. Yeah, confirmed.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll
I'm
see.
excited to see it. 20th Century Fox. Or Studios. Used to be.
Yeah. Well, they're keeping it around.
So that Loki
Yes.
checks on the mail.
Absolutely.
Raise the fly.